talk a lot about how to stay safe in the club and how to make the money you earn stretch. But I see a lot of questions online about how to actually get customers to buy dances. And this is my simplest possible guide to making that cash as easily and quickly as possible in a private dance-focused club. Because isn't that what we're all here for? Number 1, don't wait. Start selling at the stage. When someone comes to tip you at the stage, say, "I'd love to give you a more private dance when I get off stage. I'll come see you at your table." Then follow through. Go jump on them when you get off stage. Number 2, don't ask, just sit. The club is not the place for standard politeness. Not everyone agrees with this, but one way to keep your customers' anxieties from getting in the way of their own good time is to simply sit down at their table rather than asking for permission. Part of going to the strip club is sitting with girls you don't know, but if you bashfully ask, "Can I sit here?" sometimes you rob yourself of the chance to win them over with your conversation, especially if your look doesn't hook them right away. Number 3, pay attention to your body. You can't do this job sloppy. Make sure that both standing, taking a seat, and sitting, you're holding your body in the most flattering possible way. Don't you dare slouch. Hold your shoulders back. Thrust your chest forward, and if you're trying to make your stomach flatter, which is some people's goal but not everyone's, remember that certain positions can make even the flattest stomach look poochy. Paying attention to all of this while selling a dance is hard. So pretend you're a young noblewoman from history and practice all the time, even when you're at home watching TV or whatever, until it becomes second nature. Number 4, make the conversation about them. Each customer wants a special connection with the girl that he gets a dance from, and the easiest way to make him feel connected is to make sure that he feels like he's special to you. Know your regulars' jobs, hobbies, and habits, which are way more important than knowing their names. Names you can pretend to know. Ask questions about whatever your customer wants to talk about. Try to latch onto something that you are genuinely interested in. You'll probably learn something, and there's no way to fake the zillion ways your body, face, and eyes show genuine interest when it's real. Number 5, don't give away too much for free. Avoid sitting in laps, accepting massages, or kissing on customers, even your regulars. This leaves little to be paid for, and you're probably not here because you enjoy being touched on by old men. And that leads me to number 6. Number 6, be aware of what customers are seeing and overhearing at nearby tables. Even if you have a really good regular who pays you to accept massages on the floor, or a customer who wants a floor dance, think about the diminishing value of what you have to offer if you allow that. If one customer tips you $25 to accept a back massage on the floor, but then 4 other customers see that and then don't want to pay for a $20 one-way contact lap dance in the back, you have just lost money for someone to feel up your shoulders. You are always better off giving as many of your services in a back room or behind a curtain if your club allows that, or at least in a shady corner if your club doesn't. Number 7, don't let conversation flow too easily. Sometimes if a customer is enjoying talking to you too much, they'll forget about spending money at all. And ideally, you don't want to have to remind them that they're making you work for free. Fools want to pretend that you weren't working at all, that you're just spellbound by their amazing conversation. So after a few minutes of engaging conversation, allow any pauses to drag on. And if the customer doesn't break that silence to suggest a dance, eventually do it yourself. Nobody likes an awkward silence, so sometimes this may keep you from having to ask yourself at all. Number 8, I've said this before on my channel, but it's very important. Give options. Give a low, medium, and high option. Say, for example, you can get a floor dance for $15 that we can do right here. It's topless, but I can't touch you at all. Or, for $25, you can get a lap dance on one of the couches in the back with me right in your lap the whole time. Or for $150, we can do a VIP room where you can touch me too. Scale this up or down depending on your boundaries, what your club offers, and what you think your customer is willing to spend. Number 9, don't stay too long. This is for a couple of reasons. 1, it wastes your time, and 2, it might keep the customer from getting time with a dancer that they actually want to dance from, even if they don't want to dance from you. Be a team player. Different people disagree about how long you should stay. 2 songs usually, or 3. If he is paying you an acceptable rate to sit and talk, obviously ignore this rule, but make sure that rate is acceptable and worth your time. Number 10, especially if the club isn't full enough to occupy all of your time, circle back briefly anytime someone is alone to ask, have you changed your mind? This can get agonizing for you hearing no over and over and over again, so don't overdo it. But customers do change their minds, and they tend to like resilience and seeing us continue to work at it. Feel this out. If they sound irritated on your last round, maybe call it a night with that customer and focus on everyone else in the club. Number 11, don't go too hard on your first or second dances. Let there be a build-up. And while it's a good idea to pull out your visually sexiest moves right away, if you do any grinding, wait a while to really go for it. Most guys have a line that they don't want to go past in the club, and if you push them there too fast, you rob yourself. Number 12, ask if they want another dance right away. Don't let them get up from the couch without at least making an offer and letting them know that you haven't pulled out all the stops yet. Or if they've been pushing the limits of an entry-level dance, touching where they're not supposed to, for example. Suggest that they get their next dance somewhere that they can actually get what they're trying for. And that's it. I hope these tips help. If you have other tips to help sell a dancer VIP room, or things a dancer has done that made you want to buy a VIP room or a dance, leave it in the comments. To find out more about me, including my OnlyFans, check my link tree in the description. Here is a video that YouTube thinks will be right for you. Have a wonderful week. Much love.